Okay, let me put this over here to do an earthquake test. Hi everyone, welcome back. So it's been about a week since I opened my previous parcel, and to my pleasant surprise, this big guy came in. I was not expecting it because this came in by sea shipping. Or maybe it's been a while since I haven't been keeping track of my parcel from AmiAmi. So yeah, now I have 2 parcels in the month of August. And because this came in after I finished editing the previous video, this guy's gonna get its own video. In fact, there's a figure inside which I believe deserves its own video. So really excited to open it up. But before I get into that, there are a couple of merch which I really want to show you guys. Let's check it out. First up, my lovely Nyan Piece Sleepy Kitties in a bottle are here. I previously pre-ordered these two through a group order. We split a full set of these blind boxes so we could get the characters we want. I just wanted Law and Chopper, so this process works for me. However, the proxy had to open up the box to check the characters, so my box came to me folded up like that. Well, that's fine with me. It saves on shipping, and the shiny effect on this box is still pretty much intact. Looks pretty, right? As for the figures, here is the Sleeping Law Kitty in a bottle. He looks so adorable, and the effect of the kitty inside a bottle looks so good. However, I kinda hate that seam line on the side, but I doubt they could have put this kitty in the bottle without it. Oh wells. As for the size, compared to the other mini Nyan Piece figures I have, this sleeping kitty is actually much bigger. It is so much better in my opinion. Next up is the Sleepy Chopper. Similar to Law, he looks so adorable. Plus, Chopper has his backpack on, and I love how he is just using it as a pillow. Size-wise, he is also more or less the same size as Law. Lastly, at the bottom of the bottle, there seems to be a lid. I am not sure if you can open it up to split the bottle apart and take the kitty out. There is a sticker on it, but I'm not gonna break this apart. The whole appeal of this figure is to have them in the bottle like this. Okay, on to the next merch. In August, there was a maplestory event here, and they were selling merch. I am forever on a hunt for Lucid merch, so I am really happy that they had this doll on sale. I got her for $60 and a 2-hour queue wait. Well worth it. If you're wondering, Lucid is a boss in the game MapleStory, and she is my favorite boss in this game. I kinda like to just go into her boss map and look at her. Yeah, just worshipping her like so. Her attacks are so beautiful. I would pretty much just die for her, like that. I also have a character dedicated to her. I'm still trying to get her hairstyle in-game for this character though. Well, we'll keep trying. Anyway, back to the doll. Lucid looks so lovely with her pink puffy hair and gothic black dress. She also has a little hat with roses on it. To my pleasant surprise, I found out that it is magnetic and it snaps right onto Lucid's head. How cool is that? I am so happy to have this doll of her. Now I just need an android. Good smile, please. An android, please. Moving on, I have a bit of a cinema roll haul before I get to that AmiAmi box. These white marshmallow goodies are from the Cinema Roll Starlight Waltz Kuji set by Lingwu. Just like those Ichiban Kuji sets by Bandai, this Lingwu Kuji set is from China instead. Yeah, China does quite a lot of sanrio Kuji sets and they are so adorable. Like this acrylic stand. Look at it, it's so cute. This is one of the small prizes from the Kuji set, so quite worth it even though it's a small prize. It is also quite useful where you can slot in a piece of photo or a card which you really like to display with Cinema Roll. How fancy is that? Because of my terrible luck, I got quite a few of these small prizes. 4 to be exact. Thankfully, they come in different designs, so I could pick out 4 different designs of Cinema Roll looking adorable. You know, Bandai could learn a thing or two from this China Kuji set. Their small prizes are really useful. I wish Ichiban Kuji sets had more useful prizes like this. Oh wells. Together with these small prizes, I managed to snag a prize C, which is really big. This is a giant pillow with cinema roll on it. And when I say giant, it is giant. My countertop is huge and this pillow almost fills it up. Oh gosh, I have no idea where I should put this, but it's a happy problem. This pillow features a design of cinema roll in a carriage, and it is about 45 cm long, so really big. Plus, from the way you can see how I'm beating this pillow up, it is so fluffy, so soft and so nice to sleep on. So tired, but I need to finish this video. Well, moving on. Although I scored a prize C, what I really wanted was prize A and B, so I had to source them locally from Carousel. Prize B is an itabag, and I am so happy I found this at a decent price. The design is so adorable as it is shaped like a carriage, with an opening for my babies to look out. The carriage design is also really delicious looking, with sparkles of stars sprinkled on it, as well as a sugar gem right on top. Inside the bag, I would say it's pretty big, just enough to fit a couple of plushies or one big plushie. There is also a strap to hold the bag. It is blue in color, matching the bag itself. Here is a test fit of one of my babies inside this little ita bag. I think this little baby is a little bit too big, but a smaller one would fit just nice. And there we go. He looks so adorable looking out from the bag. As awesome as prize B is, it is not prize A. I needed prize A. Why? Because it's a giant cinema roll. Yes, a giant cinema roll. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest cinema roll I've ever seen, and he is quite heavy. I did not manage to win this big guy, but I managed to find him on my local Carousel at around $60, which is not a bad price. This lovely cinema roll has a pastel colored vest and a fluffy looking top hat. It's so adorable. Plus his tail, it's actually curly and so squishy. Here is a closer look at cinema roll, where you can see quite a bit of details, from the hat to the vest and even the little stars in his eyes. His blush is also heart-shaped, so adorable. But you know what's the best part about this big boy? It's the secret gem in the magic wand. Let me show you. Ta-da! It freaking lights up. Look at it, look at it. Worth it, so worth it. That's why I needed this. I don't care if I have no space, but I will force him somewhere in my house. It's actually quite a dumb gimmick because you can't change the batteries on this thing. It's sewed into the wand, but who cares? It lights up and that's all that matters. Okay, that's all I got for this cinema roll haul and the random merch I picked up. Now let's get on with the actual unboxing. Here is my parcel from AmiAmi, which you were probably waiting for. I rarely order anything from AmiAmi nowadays because their boxes are usually ridiculously big. But this time it's an exception because I could only find this figure on AmiAmi. But before that, first up, here is the AmiAmi card, which thankfully did not get cut. By the way, do you guys usually keep these cards? Because I usually give them away. Next up, here are the many paper wrapping which come inside an AmiAmi box. Once you remove all of that, you can see how empty the box is. What a waste of space. Anyway, this is the first item I got from AmiAmi, and it's a little box from megahouse. And no, it's not another lookup figure, even though this box kinda looks like it. This is something more useful. And yeah, it's Cinema Roll again. Have I ever mentioned that Cinema Roll is my favorite sanrio character? Well, he is. I love this little white marshmallow. And this here is a Cinema Roll coin bank by megahouse. Just like the Chopper Cotton Candy coin bank, this Cinema Roll also stores coins, and I have a lot of coins. I picked this up from AmiAmi for about 4,600 yen, which is not bad considering the design of this little thing. As for the box design, it comes in a very lovely pastel color with patterns of clouds and stars, a perfect match for Cinema Roll's design. He is, after all, a fluffy, cute white marshmallow. Okay, opening up the box, and inside, there is only one blister package. As for the inner side of the box, it is also super adorable, in a blue pastel color. Opening up the blister package, I have the Rurudo and baby milk on the double scoop ice cream cup, with a separate semi-translucent cup over here. This cup is made of some kind of soft plastic. It's not rigid, so I don't think dropping this would break it. As for Rurudo and milk, they are made of soft vinyl, a soft plastic material just like the chopper. There is also a little crown which conceals the hole where you insert the coins in. By the way, this coin bank has a bit of assembly, but it's really easy. I just need to put that clear cup below the ice cream cup and that's it. Here is the Rurudo coin bank with a lovely milk on top. For about 32 USD, this is such a detailed looking piece. Cinnamon roll and milk are perfectly sculpted, and the many little candies scattered on the vibrant ice cream scoops and whipped cream look so yummy. I know this is plastic, but it makes me crave for ice cream. Okay, moving on before I give in to the craving. I have another sweet figure, and a highly anticipated one. If you know this, well, you know how high in demand this figure is. This precious pink box is by pinkcharm. And yes, if you guessed it right, this is the 1/6 scale figure of Eve, Sweet Toxic version, illustrated by Rurudo. I pre-ordered this from AmiAmi because there are no other sources where I could get this girl without a proxy. NSFW figures are pretty much banned in China, and I could not find this on HPoint nor Bilibili, my usual source for figures. So sadly, AmiAmi is my only option, even though I hate how big the parcel is. Well, it can't be helped. This girl is worth it. As for the box, it's pink. Very pink. It has photos of Eve on the sides, and the box is also very sturdy, so it will take quite a bit of effort to dent it. A really great quality box. Opening up this box and taking out the blister packages, I first have a postcard with the illustration this figure is based on. It's super sweet and elegant, right? I love Rurudo's art. Next is this set of instructions, and oof, I forgot how scary assembling cast-off figures is. Yes, such figures usually comes with a lot of components, and this one has 3 blister packages. Alright, let's get into it. Inside the very first blister package, I first have the heart base. It is a thick acrylic base in a lovely heart shape. Next, I have a white blister package in the blister package. It's a blissception. Too bad for you, YouTube doesn't allow me to show you what's inside. Hehe. Moving on to the next blister package, I first have 2 heart-shaped balloons, followed by a collar for the cast-off setup. Next is this pink tube, which is for the balloons, as well as these 2 clear support rods. Lastly, I have a pair of fragile-looking wings. Now on to the last blister package, and inside, I first have the alternative faceplate for Eve, which has her mask on. Next, I have her nurse hat, followed by a realistic-looking injection. And last but not least is the figure of Eve herself in the nurse outfit. And that's all the components that comes with this figure. It's quite a lot, right? Oh gosh. Not gonna lie, but assembling cast-off figures kinda gives me anxiety. I hope I don't screw this up. She looks really fragile. First, to set up the base. Here is the acrylic heart-shaped base with 2 holes at the top. The 2 holes are not for the figure, but for the balloons that goes behind Eve. There is a big and tiny hole below both the balloons. Not gonna lie, but that tiny hole scares me. He looks ready to break something. Here are the support rods for the balloons, and they go into the big hole. Note that the thicker end of this rod goes into the balloon, and the thinner edge goes into the base. As for the tiny holes on the balloons, this is the tube that goes into that. See how fragile this looks? I am scared. To assemble this, I figured it would be easier to attach the thin tubes in first. Thankfully, it was not that bad. I didn't break it. Yay! Next is to insert the support rod, and this one took a bit of force. Although I say I used quite a bit of force, I did not break it. It went in quite okay, so just be careful. And here is how mine looks. Not sure if it's all the way in, but it will do as long as it's not dropping out. Next is to repeat the same steps for the other balloon. And while doing this, I tried to align the tube in the same orientation these balloons are supposed to be set up in, so I don't have to take this tube and support rod out due to wrong orientation. And once again, this rod is also a bit hard to push in, but without using too much force, I managed to get it in without breaking it. I also think it's a bit slanted since this balloon is a bit tilted. Well, with the rods and tube in, I can now attach the balloons to the base. And I'm glad that the tube is flexible so it won't break while moving these balloons about. Okay, with the base done, I can get Eve ready. I kept her on this plastic blister package so I don't accidentally scuff her knees. With a microfiber cloth, I first detach Eve's head. The problem with cast-off figures, there are a lot of plastic sheets at the joint, and I need to disassemble the figure to assemble her. And the problem with this figure is the sequence of detaching the wings in order to detach the head. Well, finally I got her head off. Take note of the sequence to remove the wings and the head because that is how you have to assemble the figure back. Also, the dummy wings are a little bit hard to remove. Takes a bit of wiggling, but it will get out eventually. As much as I hate all these plastic sheets in between the figure, I kinda get why it's needed. The arms and legs are so close to the nurse dress, and there is potential for paint scuffing if you remove these parts without the sheets. But after removing the plastic sheets, just be careful not to scuff the figure when you assemble the arms and legs back on. For me personally, I had quite a bit of a close call when attaching her right leg back on. There is potential for the heels of her shoes to knock into that little slim edge of the skirt, so just be very careful about that. Other than that, I had no issues with putting the arms back on. And once all the arms and legs are reassembled, I can now properly assemble the figure. First up is the wings. I have to identify which wing goes where first, and this is the right one. The wings are pretty fragile, so don't use too much force for this. It actually goes in quite smoothly when put at the correct angle. I'm using my thumb to push it in as this is the correct angle. Once that's in, the next step is to put the head back on first. But before that, I want to swap out her face with the mask version, because I don't see mask figures that often and this is super unique. Plus, the mask is so well sculpted, looks legit. I am usually concerned about how tight the hair and face joints are, but thankfully this was easy to remove. I didn't damage the hair, so that's good. And with the faceplate swapped and the fringe back on, I have Eve's head ready to be assembled. Note that Eve's hair weaves into the wings when slotting this head back in. If not, it will be difficult to push the head down. And there we go! Look at how nice the twin tail weaves with the wing. I love it. This detail is amazing. Now I can put the second wing back in. And once again, in the correct angle, this goes in really easily. Look at how this wing wraps around the other twin tail. That's why the head needs to go in first. So yeah, if not, the wing will just get in the way. Next up are the accessories, and here is the injection with the liquid inside that is removable. It can easily slip out, so be careful not to lose it. To attach this, it simply slots into Eve's fingers. The fit is perfect after a bit of adjusting. And it doesn't move about when you move this figure around. I hope there won't be any paint transfers over time, but who knows. The last accessory is the nurse cap, and it has a magnet inside. This allows it to perfectly snap to Eve's head. Very nice. Last but not least is to set Eve up on her actual base. Yes, the base which I assembled at the beginning of this assembly process. Yep, you probably forgot about it, right? Well, I sure did. With that, I have the 1/6 scale figure of Eve, Sweet Toxic version, illustrated by Rurudo and manufactured by pinkcharm, fully assembled. And she looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I am so happy I actually pre-ordered this, even though it was from AmiAmi. For this figure, because she is a cast-off, I had a kinda hard time deciding whether I want to go with the nurse outfit or the nude version. I don't usually display my figures cast-off, but for this particular figure, she looks pretty nice as a cast-off. Not gonna lie. Especially since this figure has an alternative faceplate with a mask on. There's something quite alluring about a cast-off figure with a mask on. I don't know what it is, but it's really sexy looking. But then again, I know it's not the artist's intention to have her cast off. In fact, future figures of Eve will no longer be cast off. So this is the last one. After much pondering, I decided to just go with the nurse outfit version. After all, the details on this nurse outfit are really impressive. From the sculpt work to the shading, as well as the different textures you find on it. It's really 10 out of 10. So yeah, just gonna go with this look. Zooming in to the figure, her face is so alluring, especially with that mask. Plus the pose and the injection is just so perfect. Although her face is covered by the mask, her eyes are so big and detailed, which is enough for me. By the way, look at that mask, it looks so real. As for the hair, it is so intricately sculpted. The tied up hair looks so natural and there is a nice shading of different hues of purple and pink on it. It's translucent pink at the edge, which nicely transitions to a more solid purple color at the top. Another plus point for the hair, the seam line of the fringe is also very nicely done. There is a joint to remove the fringe, but with the way it's sculpted, it looks very natural. Moving down the figure, as much as I like the cast-off look of this figure, the nurse outfit looks so good. The sculpt is skin tight with nicely sculpted creases at the right places. The paintwork of those thin black strips and the buttons are also very neat, and the buttons are actually sculpted, which is a nice detail. There is also a beige tint on the dress and socks, making it look like thin fabric. The detail of the collar is also very nicely done, and I quite like how real the injection looks. Well, I'm a sucker for figures with transparent components, and this is one such example. As for the back, although her wings look fragile, they look so elegant. They are translucent, but the material feels quite premium, with a nice lace pattern printed on. The sculpt of Eve's back also looks very pretty. There's a subtle crack line for you know what. Lastly, the base. It's so hearty. Get it? Hearts? For the base and the balloon shapes? Never mind. Anyway, all the hearts have these white bandages wrapped around it, and I love the consistency. It makes a nice backdrop for the lovely nurse Eve. For the balloon hearts, the bandage is sculpted on, and I like how it looks, squeezing that balloon real nicely. However, if you look close enough, I feel that the paintwork is not perfect. A bit of pink bled onto the white bandage. So yeah. Another feature for the balloon is the ribbon, which looks very natural. I also realized it helps to cover the peg of the tube and support rod behind, partially. So that's nice. My main issue for the base is how wobbly the balloons at the back are. Rather than try to describe this to you, let me show you with an earthquake test. Okay, did you catch that? I mean, look at this guy, he's still wobbling. It looks so horrible. As much as I dislike that, I don't know how else they would have done these balloons. I mean, the intention is to make it look like it's floating. With the clear transparent rod from afar, it does achieve that effect. But up close, well, the rods are kind of flimsy and you can really see them. Regardless, despite how much I dislike those wobbly balloons, I'm still gonna keep her on the base like this. After all, this is the composition intended and I quite like it that way. All in all, I have no regrets picking up this Eve figure by Rurudo. Seriously, Rurudo's figure has once again captivated me. And there's so many more coming up. I don't really want to start a new shrine for her, but it's really tempting. No. Wallet-kun says no. Out of sight, out of mind. But this is not my last Rurudo figure. I still have one more of that police version on pre-order, so hopefully she comes out soon. Really excited to see that one. Anyway, if you're thinking about picking this figure up, you better do it quickly because Rurudo figures tend to go up in value. I'm not sure if she's still available on AmiAmi, but I hope if you're interested to get her, you do find her at a good price. In my opinion, I would highly recommend this figure from pinkcharm compared to the other ones from pinkcharm, which are crazy expensive now. The other figures by pinkcharm have alternative versions, which you can get from other companies. However, this nurse outfit version is still quite unique and no other companies has taken it up. But then again, you can wait it out and maybe another company will do a nurse version if. I mean, it's just a matter of time. So yeah, if you can get her for a good price, I would highly recommend it. But if you can't, just wait it out. I think there'll be more Rurudo figures coming up and they're gonna look so much better. So yeah, it could be a good idea to just wait it out. And that's all for today's video. I know I should have waited and combined these goodies with my previous August haul video, but heck, this video is long enough. So much happened in the month of August, from the maplestory event to the release of this Cinema Kuji over here. Wallet-kun suffered quite a bit. Time to OT to make up for it. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm quite sad to see this Eve so expensive now in the aftermarket. For anyone hunting for this girl, I hope an alternative one comes out soon. Even though this is the last cast-off figure of Eve, I don't see myself casting her off since that nurse outfit looks so good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do leave a like and subscribe with notifications to stay tuned to more videos. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!